My name is Andrew. This is Road Wrenching. I'm sure you guys are here for the update on the driveway. I'm kidding. Let's talk about the house. Nobody cares about the driveway. The driveway is fixed and we're good to go there. So let's talk about the house and what's happening with it. The first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is my plumber. Let me tell you, this guy, Pavel's Plumbing, out here in Ozark, Missouri, fantastic guy. Highly skilled, like meticulous about his work. Everything is done exactly right the first time. And the reason that I know that, well, not only because I've seen his work before I hired him to come here, but I came by the job site this last week while he was working, and he was in here setting up all of the vent pipe in this master bath here. This pipe is vent. Doesn't matter if it's straight or not. It's in the attic. You'll never see it. It doesn't matter if it's straight or not. And homeboy's got his laser out to make sure that it's exactly perfectly straight. I just have tremendous respect for people that care about their craft that much. Like, take a look at these fresh water lines up here in the attic. I mean, when I say they're straight, again, he's got a laser out here to make sure these things are exactly perfectly straight. This is just beautiful, beautiful plumbing work by my guy. Again, that's Pavel's Plumbing. If you guys need plumbing work anywhere around Springfield area, make sure you give this guy a call. Fantastic guy to work with and very well priced and really, really good at what he does. The other thing that started this last week was we had some HVAC. So we've got some HVAC stuff going on. We didn't get a ton of progress, at least not visibly. As you can see above me, we do have some of the end vent pieces, as far as the rough end is concerned, going up here in the ceiling. Now, we are expecting rough end for HVAC to finish probably on Thursday, maybe Friday at the latest, is when that's going to finish. Now, the plumbing is probably going to finish up tomorrow. He's almost done. We've just got a little bit to wrap up out towards the mechanical room and tie in a couple of those pipes that are still open out in that area. My electric rough-in is supposed to start on Tuesday. I'm meeting up with Josh from Apex Electrical down in Harrison, Arkansas. He saw one of my videos and reached out to me, and he is coming out here and helping me out on this project. And by helping me out, I mean treating me fairly and getting this thing done for me in the time frame that works for me. So he's not doing it for free. I wouldn't ask for it for free. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm some kind of special person that gets things for free. But there are good people out there. And one of the cool things about putting videos like this on YouTube is I've been able to connect with some of those really cool people. So Apex Electrical is coming out to do the electric. We've got Armitage Heating and Air here in Springfield is taking care of me on the HVAC. And we've got, like I said, Pavel's Plumbing is taking care of that. Now, as I had mentioned last week, there was some questions about whether or not my electrician that the general contractor had hired was going to steal from me. And I am incredibly frustrated to report that the answer is yes. He is going to try to steal from me. So let's back up a little bit and cover the electrician story and how we got to where we are today. I'm going to keep this moving so that I can show you the interior of the house and you guys can kind of see what we're working on and how things are going. So my general contractor had paid a 75% deposit to this electrician, and that was back in like July of last year is when that deposit was paid. Now, I had no idea that there was a deposit going to an electrician. I never signed off on it. I simply paid my general contractor money, and he said, oh, well, I got to give deposits to people. Like, I didn't approve it. I didn't select the electrician. I didn't hand him a check. I knew nothing about this until I said, hey, we are not moving forward until we've got receipts for all the dollars that I've given you. And then he produced a receipt for this electrician because everything checks out with this electrician. He's licensed through the state. He has an LLC. I've got a copy of his business insurance. I've talked to 3 or 4 other home builders in the area that vouched for him. So like everything seems legitimate. So I had no idea who this guy was. He appears to be a one-man operation, and like everything checked out, all of his references checked out, and that's all well and good. But just because of how bad the framing went with, again, someone that my original GC hired, I said, you know what, dude, you haven't done any work. You haven't bought any material. You've been paid a deposit of $18,619.99. Give me the $18,000 back. You can keep the $600 as an I'm sorry for wasting your time kind of a thing, and let's just call it a day. And that was when he blocked me. So I have called, I have texted, I have emailed, and nothing, not a peep, nothing from him. So I went through the process as far as The problem is that there's a contract in place between the two of us. And because he blocked me and ghosted me, that breaks some of the specifics of the contract. And so I then sent him the notice of default, that he had 7 days to cure that notice of default, or cure the default rather, on the contract. Because what he had kind of said when I had said, hey, I want my money back, is he's like, well, you signed a contract agreeing to hire me, so I'm not giving you your money back. Well, actually, that's not what he said. He said, you signed a contract agreeing to hire me, but whatever you want. So he implied that he was willing to if it came to that, but he would rather not because, again, I signed a contract with him agreeing to hire him. Now, what I figured out is that his price was substantially high, like to the tune of about $6,000 to $8,000 higher than other bids that I received for this job. So with that being said, I was like, man, I really would like to just get my deposit back, hire somebody else, and even if I got to eat a $600 convenience fee, that's okay. I'm like, it's okay, I'll be all right. No, he ghosted me. I haven't heard anything from him, but like when I sent him this notice of default, it includes like, if you text me, if you call me, if you send me an email, any of these things will cure the default and we'll still be locked in to this contract. And he did not. So we went through, this contract had a 7-day period to cure the default. He chose to ignore that. So as of Wednesday, that contract is terminated, which means that I am owed my full deposit back because none of the deposit was used. And I cannot get a hold of this guy. So tomorrow I'm gonna start calling people, and I'm gonna call some of his references, and we're gonna see if somebody else that he works with or knows can lean on him to try to recover that deposit. Now here's the thing, here's what I think happened, and again, maybe this is just me assuming the best in people, which has bit me every time I've done it. So, take that with the appropriate helping of salt. But what I think happened here is I think that he was paid a 75% deposit, so $18,600 in July of last year. July? Yeah, somewhere in there. I have to check the date on the actual invoice. But my theory is that he doesn't actually have the 18 grand anymore. Like, I don't think he has it. I think that money went into like an operating account kind of a thing, like your operating checking or your checking account. And I think that money's gone. The thing is, I want my money back. Okay. But I'm willing to work out a deal. Like the letter of the contract states that he has 10 days to return my full deposit back, which puts him in a bind. So then he's legally in some sketchy water, you could say, if he doesn't do that. But like I've texted him, I've called him, I've left voicemails, and I've said, look, like, let's work this out. Like, pick up the phone and talk to me. Let's figure out a way to make this work. I'm assuming you don't have the lump sum. Let's figure something out. There has to be a deal that can be made between the two of us that doesn't involve paying attorneys a bunch of money, because if we do that, the only people that win are the attorneys. So, like, I have tried and I have tried and I have tried to get a hold of this guy, and he just will not. He will not answer his phone. He will not text me back. He will not communicate with me in any way at all. And that is the most frustrating thing, because on this house, we went and crunched some numbers in this last week. And as it stands right now, we are going to have to refinance our construction loan for about $50,000 to $60,000 more to make up for, like, we had between the electrician and the framer that disappeared with my deposit, we have had $82,000 stolen from us on this project. And that is one heck of a gut punch. Okay, $82,000 is almost a third of our budget. That is insane how much money that is. Like, that's so much money. And we are going to have to rework the loan to be able to just finish it. Put a roof on it, put siding on it, insulate it, just finish it, and not finish it all the way. We're still not putting floors in it. We're still not putting ceiling fans in it. We're still not putting a lot of stuff in it that we would otherwise want to do. And that is really frustrating, because my wife and I have worked and we have saved and we have been intentional and we have been smart with our money for the last 8 years that we've been married to be able to do this. We have worked so hard for this. And I'm not saying that we deserve it per se, because I recognize that I've been blessed with tremendous opportunity, and I'm not naive to the fact that I am not the only reason this is here. But I have worked my tail off for the last 8 years to be able to do something like this for my family, okay? And the fact that these two people, well, 3 people now, my general contractor and this network of scam artists that he associates with, the fact that they stole so much money from me, it makes my blood boil. And I have to be careful what I say here because I'm going to just have an emotional breakdown and I don't want to do that on camera. But having that much money just stolen, words cannot describe how frustrating that is and how hard. I don't even know what we're going to do. I don't know that we can afford the payment if we add another $50,000 at 8% interest or whatever the interest rate is right now. I don't know how we're going to do that. We don't have unlimited money. I'm not a big YouTuber that's got a budget of $1 million and like 100 grand is whatever, no big deal. Like we're talking about more than a year worth of income stolen from us. I recognize that there were decisions that I made that contributed to the situation that we're in, right? Like I understand that I shouldn't have paid a deposit. I understand that there were inspections that should have been done. There were things that I should have caught earlier on in the process that I didn't catch. And that in some way I was driving the train as it crashed, right? And I understand that and I get that, but the follow-up thought to that analogy of I was driving the train when it crashed is I didn't put the bomb on the tracks. I'm not the one who committed criminal fraud and stole from me. Yes, I shouldn't have given this man a deposit. Yes, I should have checked things, but good golly, this man stole from me. They stole from me, they took my money, they didn't do what they were supposed to do, they didn't do anything even remotely approaching like the correct thing to do or like it. Oh my gosh, these people stole from me because they looked at me and saw me as a mark, as a bag of cash, someone new to Missouri who didn't know any better, and they took advantage of me and they stole from me so that I couldn't finish this house. And the amount of work that went into even being able to think about affording this in the first place, much less what we're going to have to do to dig out of this hole, it's insane how much work has gone into this and is still going into this. And to steal from me like that. So when my general contractor was fired, I had to fix the plumbing that he screwed up. I had to fix the plumbing that he screwed up. I had to rent some equipment to like clean up the job site that he wrecked, like all this stuff. I had to do about $3 grand worth of work. And so I sent him an invoice for some of the unpaid deposit money that like he had paid out in subcontractor deposits that I hadn't paid him for. And I sent him an invoice for it. Basically, I backcharged him for that amount and said, look, I'm not paying you because I had to do all this work. And this clown of a human being has the gall to say to me that one day I'm going to have to stand before God and answer for the things that I have done, and that screwing over a licensed Missouri contractor who has done nothing but try to help me. Like, it just blows my mind that this piece of human trash would claim the name of Christ and say that I'm screwing him over when he's the one who stole from me and he set me up to have tens of thousands of dollars stolen from me. And that makes me angry, and it should make you angry. And this is why I'm going to keep posting videos. This is why I have to tell this story, because not only do I need the ad revenue to make up for this loss, but I need everybody else to know who this guy was. I need everybody to know what he did, and I need him to not be able to do this to somebody else. Okay, this guy has to be stopped. As a society, we shouldn't allow this sort of thing to happen. And what's frustrating is the conversation I had with my attorney, where he said, look, the prosecuting attorney, like the local DA, the Attorney General's office, they probably won't go after this guy because financial crimes are hard to prosecute, and that's a lot of work for them, and they don't want to do the work. And it just blows my mind that you would actually have that from an agency that is supposed to enforce the law, and you're gonna say, well, you know, it's a lot of paperwork, so we're just not gonna do that. I don't have words to explain how stupid that is, but ultimately, that's why I am continuing to make these videos. That's why I'm coming out here every week. I'm working. Obviously I spent most of the afternoon working on the house, and this is why I'm here making these videos. Obviously, I want to share the story to protect other people from making the same mistakes that I did. But then eventually, when we get through the legal process of suing this clown, I want to tell you guys exactly who he is. I want to tell you exactly what his business is. And I want to tell you exactly, I want to tell you everything about this guy, so that you know, and you can tell your friends, and you can tell your family, and you can tell everybody how bad this guy is, so that nobody else has to get screwed in the way that I got screwed. That was a lot more angst and emotion than I normally put into videos, and if that was uncomfortable for you or too much, I do apologize, but that's where we're at. That's just the real, raw, this is what's happening, and it's hard, and it sucks, and it's frustrating, but that's where we're at. So, that's where I'm gonna leave this one off. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like so that it can spread to more people. Check out the earlier videos in this series if you haven't seen the full saga. I think this is episode 9. I'm not 100%. I will put it in the title, whatever it is. But check out the other videos so you can see the whole progression through this. We'll see you guys in the next video.